I didn't want people to look at me different or blame me or think I'm lying. So I stayed crippled by my fear of there's freedom and power in your tongue. To be honest, it just doesn't happen to girls, sadly. It happened to little boys as well. And you'd be
Yes.
surprised how many boys get hurt when they're young. When you double back around, it never works out.
Yeah.
My hallelujah belongs to.
Welcome back to Real Talk here on the Flashpoint Radio with your host, Yasheika Cummings. Tonight topic is about domestic abuse and molestation. I mean, this is a very touchy topic. A lot of people don't speak up on it, but I'm happy that I am bold and brave enough with the grace of God to speak out on this topic tonight. I'm going to introduce now our amazing guest. She is a sweetheart, Jacinth Headlam. She wears many hats, but I'm going to allow her to tell you more about her. Jacinth, welcome another time here
Hello.
on Real Talk.
Hi, guys. How are you? And thank you so much, Yashika, for having me. Thank you for having me on Real Talk. Thank you, Flashpoint Radio. My name is Jacinth Headlam. I'm an author, actor, film producer, and my main job, I work on air on live television with QVC Network, with the Home Shopping Network. I'm a mom, and I'm just a sister, friend in your head that I just want to see people heal through the arts, through storytelling, filmmaking, book writing. And that is what I like to help people do on my day to day. That's what purpose is for me.
Amazing. Listen, just since everywhere I go, I talk about you. You are
Thank
such a sister, a supporter. And you know what I admire more about you? People who are broken, you don't judge them, you help them healed, and even allowing, because I'm one of them, to bring our story to purpose, writing a book. And I remember the first time I started here on the Flashpoint Radio, they said to
you.
me that what next for Real Talk, maybe it's a movie. I'm like, oh, I have a movie star friend, just sends. So I mean, I'm super happy that we're connected, you know. So tonight's topic is about domestic abuse and molestation. I mean, a lot of things going on now in the world, especially with our young girls, where they're taking their lives. And the truth is, some of these situations contribute to it because they don't have anyone to speak to about
Mhm.
it. They don't know who to trust. So I'm happy that we can shine light on this topic tonight
Yeah.
and let them know that they're not alone. We are here to support them and stuff like that. So,
Yes.
I mean, just saying tonight, we're gonna do it a little bit different. I got from doing the flyers, send it out. I got a lot of questions where listeners, viewers are asking. So we're gonna just talk about that. I'm gonna ask you, like, the first question that somebody asks is, should I feel bad because I was sexually abused?
Absolutely not. That's not your burden to carry, and I know it's easier said than done, but feeling bad or guilty or carrying that cross on your own about being sexually abused or violated in any way, shape, or form is common, but also tend to completely misplace our reaction because we don't know how to feel. We don't know, was it my fault? Did I lead this person on? Did I do this? Did I do that? And the abuser is never, if you're the victim, it's never your fault. And the responsibility is definitely the abuser, the offender, the person who assaulted you. So it's important to really seek, support group, therapy. Maybe it's a mentor or a pastor, but it's important to really do the job to heal so that you don't carry this burden and you don't carry this cross and you don't carry, this thing that will make you want to stay locked in and stay into depression and be a prisoner in your mind because you're afraid to come out of the closet, you're afraid to stand in your truth, and you're afraid to approach this person and say, hey, you hurt me. So you definitely should not feel bad at all. Your feelings are valid. So it's, take that in, that your feelings are valid and how you're feeling is very valid. And also do not stay muted. Let your voice be heard, and that's where your freedom lie, is let your pain be your purpose, and let that pain give you the power to tell your story, to heal and to free others.
Wow, wow, well said, Jacinth. Well said. Because I remember, when I was going through that situation, I used to beat up myself. Like, I used to think that, I allow it to happen to me. And all right, with my story, I was going through it from a tender age, 13 to 18. And I mean, people would say, so why are you in it so long? But,
Mhm.
I was scared to say it to anyone. And then again, I don't know if I could have escaped because I was a child, you know.
Right.
So
Right.
what you said just now, is very
Hmm.
very encouraging, and I hope someone there going through this situation listen to what Justin just said and apply. The other question that I've got just sent is, how do I get over my fear of molestation?
This is the fear of it happening to you, or fear of coming out after it happens to you. Which part of the fear?
It's happening, and no, it's happening, and it both in when it's happening and when they come
Right,
out of
right.
it. Yeah.
Right. So, for me is there's freedom and power in your tongue. And I was muted and silenced by pain or fear of feeling misunderstood, or fear of people thinking I'm lying, or I'm trying to break up this family, I'm trying to break up whatever it was just a fear of, I didn't want people to look at me different or blame me or think I'm lying. So I stayed crippled by my fear of coming out, which kept me silenced from the age of 8 to, like, when did I come out with my book? So for 20 years, I didn't come out and start telling people until like 28, 29. And that's when I told my mom. I came out with my book in 2019. So that was what, oh, well, like four years ago.
Wow.
So I lived with that for over 2 decades. And it's one of those things where my advice is, do not sit on it. Do not allow your fear and your pain to silence you. Because when I opened my mouth and I spoke about it, I that's when my freedom and the shackle broke off. And then I was able to now find like-minded people that said, hey girl, you're not the only one. This happened to me. That happened to me. And then you'll find that some other people are going through way worse than you, where they got know, pregnant, or got a transmitted disease that they can't get back, and you hear all these horror stories that you're looking at your situation, not that it's any less worse, but it's like it just make you get to a place of, wow, I'm not by myself. There's other people out here that's going through it and way worse than me. So if she can do it, he can do it, they can do it, so can I. But that only happen when you're not sitting on fear, and you speak out and you share your experience. But you have to share your experience with people that you know you're gonna feel safe, because the last thing you want to do is share your experience with people that is going to bash you or make you feel that it's your fault. So I would definitely say, probably talk to a professional who can also give you guidance as well, that's not going to be biased or judge you.
Just send the other question is, how do you ask your child about molestation? So basically what this person is saying, that they see signs where, their child goes silent, they're angry and stuff like that. They don't know how to ask them, like, are you going through this situation or stuff like that?
I know that it's very sensitive, but for me is I'm a mom and my I have a daughter and to be honest, it just doesn't happen to girls, sadly. It happens to little boys as well. And you'd be
Yes.
surprised how many boys get hurt when they're young and when they grow up, they act out in so many different behaviors, bad behaviors or, because they don't know themselves, so they're still hurting inside and they haven't been freed from it. But for me, to answer your question, I approach the conversation. If you're going to talk to your child, or maybe you're a guardian and you want to talk to your niece, nephew, or godchild, or adopted child, whatever it may be, is to approach the conversation with care and be very, very sensitive and always create a surrounding of peace, letting that person know, him or her, that, hey, whatever we discuss is between you and I. This is a safe space. You're safe with me. Your secret is safe with me, or and just letting them know, like, I noticed that your behavior is changing. What's going on? Did something happen in school? And that's why it's so important to always have a daily check-in with your children, because oftentimes as parents or guardian, we get caught up in the, on in the life and the world and the busyness, and is we're always quick to say, did you spread your bed? Did you eat your food? Did you go to school? Pack your bag, do that. And
Always
we're
on the
yelling
go.
and we do more yelling and chastising and did you do your homework and a bunch of drilling question, instead of really sitting down and having calm, soothing, peaceful, loving conversation with our child. We do more this instead of this.
Yeah.
So it's really providing that safe space. And sometimes I have to bring myself in, because as a mom that wears so many hats, sometimes I experience burnout. And sometimes I just have enough energy to cook and make sure that they get to bed and make sure that they bathe and they're prepped for school the next day. But I have to be very mindful to, hey, check in. Whether
Yeah.
it's on the car ride to school, just asking them, how your week been so far? How was class? What fun happened in class? Did something bad happen in class? Did something bad happen after school? And it's just always having these daily conversations with your child so they can feel safe when it's time to talk to you. If you don't have a relationship with your child and a safe space is not nurtured and built, they're not going to come out and tell you. If you're always, did you boop, 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 did you do this? Did you clean your, go bathe, go eat your food? And you're always going like this, they're going to always be closed off and just doing what they have to do to not get in trouble. There's no safe space. That child is not going to come out and tell you nothing. Is everything okay? I'm okay. Mommy,
Yeah.
I'm good. Why you acting weird? Why you not eating your food? Why you just closing in your room all day? You're just on your phone all day. You're so shut off from the world. Not because I'm bored. And they'll just stay to themselves and be very isolated, because you have not nurtured that space. So, and always having that family meeting with your kids where you're always checking in on a weekly basis. Always have that family meeting where you're checking in on a weekly basis. Hey, we're having a family meeting, time to check in to make sure how everybody week is going, school, whether it's, the husband on the job, the wife on the job, having that family check-in on a daily, because now you have created that environment. So when it's time for them to open up, it's not weird and it's not foreign. So, making sure that they're comfortable and not, they don't fear you.
Yeah. For real, for real. Just saying, we are going to take a break, but before we take this break, I want you to, somebody out there going through molestation at this minute, this moment, I want you to give them a word of encouragement. As after the break, we're going to come back and speak on abuse.
I would say my word of encouragement too, and just to piggyback off of the last thing I said about just providing a safe space for your kids. So if they are hurt or being abused or molestated, whether it's at a friend's house, a family house, or a neighbor's house, is make sure that you teach your child about their body, educate them about their body, and setting boundaries. Hey, if this uncle just touch you this way, or that person did this to violate you, these are not good things. You need to bring somebody's attention, an adult or me, to it. So we know these are not good things. So teaching them boundaries. But my advice to you is, there's purpose in your pain. And until you come out and speak on it and be bold to tell your story, that is where you're freed. So telling my story and writing my book, Love After, and sharing my experience with the world is my ministry. That's my testimony. And that's how I was able to find my healing and my freedom. And when you tell other people and you're freeing other people, that is where your purpose lies because you're using your story to help others. So for me, your story don't belong to you, your life don't belong to you, and sharing is caring. So when you share your experience, you're freeing other people. So share your experience and know that you're not alone. You are not alone.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Jacinth. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back.
Open your mouth and tell God something real nice tonight. Come on, tell him you appreciate him. Tell him you love him. Come on, all across the sanctuary. Tell him how much he means to you.
When you need ultrasound that's safe and effective, you must visit Asai Ultrasound Imaging. They're conveniently located at number 4, Chestnut Center, Smith Road, Georgetown, Cayman Islands. With experienced technologists with over 20 years experience, their friendly staff will make you comfortable while you get your procedure done. Asai Ultrasound Imaging is open Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Call Asai Ultrasound Imaging 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426. That's 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426.
Come on, just open your mouth and tell God something real nice tonight. Come on, tell him you appreciate him. Tell him you love him. Come on, all across the sanctuary. Tell him how much he means to you.
Welcome to Real Talk. It's a safe space where you talk about real life experiences and overcoming traumas. Listen, this is all over the world. You don't want to not be a part of it. Get your water, your coffee, your tea, and just ready up at 7:30 every Monday night here on Flashpoint.
My hallelujah belongs to you. My hallelujah belongs.
Welcome back to Real Talk here on the Flashpoint Radio. I hope you guys go get some water and ready for the next session. We just talked about molestation and now we are going to talk about abuse, domestic abuse. And we have with us our amazing guest, Jacinth Headlam. So Jacinth, we're back now and we're gonna speak on domestic abuse. And why I really want to touch this topic, because I have a lot of people, come to me, they're in certain relationship, they don't know how to escape it, how to let go, how to, and I got a question for you for that. Someone asking, how do you walk away from an abuser?
Walking away from an abuser can be very difficult. It's challenging and it requires careful planning and being strategic because it's easier said than done. I think everybody can say when they've been in an abusive relationship, whether it's emotional abuse, mental, physical, sexual, whatever it is, that person is an extreme narcissist and they will gaslight you and manipulate you and have your mind going crazy, having you thinking you're crazy. So when you try to leave, it's always that stronghold pulling you back and you feeling guilty and you feeling like, fear of, starting over or just loving the convenience of the relationship, whatever it may be, that's keeping you stuck and stagnant. I say in those times when it's hard for you to leave because you're addicted to the feeling or you're addicted to the convenience or just the fear of starting over, of the fear of the unknown, or just that person have you so lost, it's important to have like trusted group, whether it's a trusted friend, prayer warrior, family member, professional help. Also, I know it's hard for most people because when you love somebody, you don't want to call the cops or do a police report, or especially if you have kids with that person or a child, you don't want to have a restraining order. But sometimes you have to go the legal route because it's his freedom or my life, so if it comes to the point where you need to choose between your freedom or them walking around, I choose my freedom any day. So, as really having someone that you can talk to that can help you to strategize and how to leave and make sure you have your duck lined up in a row. So I know for my mom, when I've seen my mom abused firsthand by my stepfather, and my mom was strategic. She stayed in it for years, never understood until I hit my 30s was when I really understood, and was able to have grace for my mom experience. But for a while, I was so mad at her because I'm like, why did you stay for all those years? And this man kept putting his hands on you and beating you. So sometimes you're unconscious. So for me, I got to a certain level of understanding and studying people and studying, hurt people, and trauma is real. So really, I saw that my mom relocated from New York to Pennsylvania, but before she was able to fully move away, she made sure she had her ducks lined up in a row, a job, a place to stay. So when she did leave and escape and left the state, she had everything lined up. She already was planning her escape. So
Wow.
being strategic and having people that will have your back and help you so you're not by yourself.
Yes, that's true. And I mean, a lot of people say they stay in the relationship because, they can provide for themselves. So, and you have people also will stay thinking that, this partner will change. Do you think they will, or, you know, they will always be that person?
For me, what I've learned is to never double back. Because when if the person can hurt you the first time, and love is patient, love is kind, it doesn't envy, it doesn't boast, it doesn't hate, it doesn't hurt you, it doesn't lie, it doesn't hit you, it doesn't cheat on you, whatever it is, if you're with someone who say they love you, think about it. If you love your best friend, will you ever hurt your best friend? And I really thought about it when somebody asked me that. They was like, who's your best friend? Would you ever hurt your best friend? And I thought about it, and I'm like, no, I would never do that. So if somebody's saying they love you and they're your better half, and you're spending life with that person, and that person can lie, hit you, manipulate you, and cheat on you and do all these kind of stuff, you don't respect me. You don't love me to begin with. First of all, you don't even love yourself, much less love somebody else. So for
Yeah.
me, is hurt people, and you have to do the work to heal. And because a lot of people don't know their worth, and they don't know the true definition of love and what love truly means because of how they were raised and what they saw mommy get treated as or daddy got treated as, they think that's love, and that's not love. So when they find something similar that's showing them what they grew up with, oh well, my stepfather hit my mom, so I know, and they were together for years, so that may be love. So you attract those things because that's what nurtured you growing up. So is having to go through a whole identity shift, and the Bible said to be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And when you change your thought process, because so a man thinketh, so shall he be, it starts here in your mind. And how you think and what you think about is what manifests. So your definition of love and your self-worth has to be stripped away and have a new definition of self-worth, a new definition of what healthy love is and what God intended for your spouse to be in your life. So yeah, don't double back. If somebody don't if respect you enough to love you and honor you and be truthful, then that person don't even love you. They're gaslighting, they're manipulating you, and that's a narcissist. And if they can hit you once, they're gonna hit you again. And it's okay to love them from afar. I forgive you. I spent 2 years of my life and it was a great 2 years of a learning lesson. I'm good. I will love you from a distance and I will pray that the next you'll change in time for the next person. But most time when you double back around, it never works out.
Yeah,
It never
that's
works out.
true.
Trash is a trash for a reason. We don't respect.
That's true. I'm just saying, and I want to add to what you just said, what can cause, people to accept the abuse. With my situation, and I'm gonna always talk about, because real talk is based off of my real life story. And when I was, because I do go through abuse with my baby daddy. And to be honest, I did not saw my mommy was getting abused by my stepdad. But what allowed me to accept it was I wasn't getting any love from my parents, family, So I be around this person, and to be honest, I thought that he loves me. I didn't have much sense to know that, listen, this is not love, because sometime when he's probably come to lick, it's like I think that oh, he cares, he protecting me, he want the best for me. So I know somebody else out there going through the same situation, because I didn't know it wasn't right. And it's not that I see it from in my parents relationship. I did not, but I was the lack of love. So I just think there and think, oh, this is love. Wow. So yeah, I want to encourage
Sorry,
someone.
yes. So, oh,
Go ahead, Jacinth.
yeah, and it goes back to even though you don't see a unhealthy relationship, sometimes lack of seeing a healthy relationship is just as bad. When you know better, you do. So if you
Yeah.
don't know, you don't have a definition of a healthy love. Growing up, I didn't have or see a healthy marriage. A lot of the marriage I saw growing up were violent, domesticated, whether it was a woman abusing a man or the man abusing a woman. I just never really seen a loving, healthy, beautiful, God-fearing, God-based love. Um, I just didn't see it. So I didn't learn that until probably my 30s. Within the
Wow.
last 4 or 5 years was after I wrote my book was when I really did the deep work to learn what true love is and what it's supposed to look like.
Wow. Just since I have one more question for you, and after this question, I going to allow you, to tell our listeners, viewers about, Jacinth, one who, go through traumas, and how you're doing now, because you have a lot of people out there think, I'm going through this, I will never become anything good. And of course, you have people too as well that their parents tell them that they will never become nothing and stuff like that. So I want, after I ask you this question, because this question is going to lead up to the great stuff that you are doing, and then you can speak on that. So the question is, how was it while writing the book? Did it take you back to your traumas?
Absolutely, because there was a lot of things that lie dormant that I forgot about. And as I was writing the book, one thing when you're writing a book, especially if it's a self-help book or a memoir, God is going to download some things in your spirit and remind you, hey, don't leave this out or put that in. Like, so he really challenged me, like, hey, if you're going to write a book on your healing journey, you have to be 100% transparent. And it was hard for me, and I procrastinated for months because I wasn't fully ready to stand in my truth. I didn't want my family or my friends looking at me different. I didn't want people knowing my business. I'm a very private person. I am. The only thing you're gonna know about me is when you see a project I'm working on, or if I'm doing something, out there where I'm promoting something. So to share my deepest, darkest in a book for the world to see, And it was a fear of mine that it took me months to get over. And as I was downloading, God started to remind me of a lot of things that I bottled up, a lot of things that I swept under the rug, a lot of things that lie dormant that I just wanted to forget it and block it out of my mind. And it did work because I forgot about it until it came back to my remembrance during the book. So there was time I was writing my book and crying. Like, so writing my book was probably my first time journaling, and it was very therapeutic, but that's where a lot of my healing and release came from in writing my book. So as I was writing, even when I started out my book, it sounded like I was angry, but I was writing from a place of hurt. And even in my book and in my writing, you saw the transformation because my first chapter was, how did I get here? Like, why me? And you started to see the transformation of, okay, I started out questioning God, like most of us do when we're going through the storm. It's, God, why me? Why did you let this happen? Why did you do this to me? Why did you take my person? Why did this person, why did you let this happen to me? It's a bunch of why. To now you see why it was necessary. Now you see, you know, why it had to happen.
Yeah, wow. Okay, texter, she answer your question. So just since we speak on molest, abuse, and all of that, we just wanna tap into the amazing stuff that you're doing, and also how you help young females and male as well, going through traumas and help them to heal. So I want you to tell our listeners, viewers, about everything, and I don't want you to leave out the inner star, the trailblaze.
Oh, yes. Well, shout out to Cayman In Style Fashion Week, Norma Ibanks, who I collaborated with and did the Cayman, did the Trailblazer Award there in Cayman Island during the Cayman in Style Fashion Week. So thank you. I'm just grateful to be a part of that platform and to bring my vision to Cayman to honor and recognize individuals in the art, whether it's modeling, filming, radio, hosting, whatever it is, but just being honored and nominating people and saying, hey, we see you, we recognize your talent. Thank you. Videographers, photographers, beauty, people in beauty industry, media industry. And if there's other categories that you can think of for next year for our 2025, please email us, tell Yasheika, send it in. We're looking to grow and change. But yeah, we have the InnaStar Trailblazers, not just in Cayman, but it started here in the US, right here in Pennsylvania. And also, we're going to be taking it to, we did it in Nigeria next year, and our next stop is also going to be adding Jamaica. So when God gave me InnaStar, it was a global impact. So for me, we're trying to make a global impact, and we are making a global impact. Outside of that, I have my movie, The Love After Holidays, that's coming out this holiday season, 2024. So around November, December for the family. And it's also about, divorce and abuse and, the impact that ripping away of the family have on children. And how do you start over and how do you forgive? And yeah, I think that's the only thing I really have going on right now, or like major announcements, and just working on my next book. you
And
know.
also, I want you to let our listeners know that you assist, in writing book and
Oh
stuff like,
yes.
yeah. That's what I
Thank
want.
you. Yes. So with my company, Jacinth Media Production, not only do we produce film, but we also produce books. We're a publishing company, and I'm an author's coach. So if you're like, hey, Jacinth, I would love to tell my story. I would love to write a book. I've always dreamt of telling my story or starting this ministry or, this nonprofit organization to help other women or to help other young men or other kids, or whatever it is, seniors, whatever it is, I can hold you, assist you, and help you in the process. There's different writing method that we have. Sometimes I can even write, for you to help you, interview style. So there's different ways to tell your story. Do not allow yourself to be struggling with writer's block or to be stagnant or procrastinate. There's different ways to get the job done. So hit me up, and I would love to work with you.
Amazing. Listen, guys, I meet Jacinth about 3 years. And
Yeah, right, right.
listen, she make a big change in my life, and I have no doubt that if you guys connect with her, you won't be great. I mean, just since a lot of people always reach out to me and they would say, how you come out and you talk about this, and I tell them sometimes it's great to connect with like-minded people, who you can trust to say, hey, I'm going through this. They don't judge you and they will help pull you out. But a lot of people, they're scared. They said, oh, I don't know who to trust, I don't know who to talk to. But I mean, I can encourage them, like, I was at that place and then I have to let go because I was stuck. So I have to let go to move forward and to get better. So I always telling them, like, hey, connection, great connection will help you go higher.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to a
And
girl
it-
this evening, and she's so intelligent and stuff, but she like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. And I was even sharing my story with her, just said that when you come to Cayman, you were having like classes, to train us how to speak in front of the camera, how to do this, how to do that. So I just want you to probably in final, because we almost come to the end of the show, I want you to speak to somebody out there. It's in them, they don't know how to come out. I just want you to speak to them, leave a word of encouragement with them to try pull them out of their shell.
Absolutely. No, the reason why I started in the Star, and like, Yashika, you're a great example where when I first met Yashika and I did the workshop last year, the confidence boot camp, Yashika did not want to be on camera. She did not want to talk and tell her story. She was super shy. And to see that she's on a whole talk show and wanting to write a book and all of these things is like a complete 180. Like, I'm like, wow, like she burst out of her shell and doing some amazing things and just being a world changer. So
Yeah.
I love, love, love that. And one thing I can say is to know that you are enough, to know that you are enough, that your story, your journey is bigger than you and it's not only for you. Your journey is to help to heal someone else, so to know that you are enough. And when you can say yes to yourself and not be a people pleaser and know how to put your foot down and set boundaries, that is also where your freedom lies. Because oftentimes we're afraid to stand up for ourselves because we don't know our self-worth, because we don't think we're enough, and we play small and we prioritize everyone above ourselves because that's our way of being a people pleaser, to keep people around
Yeah.
and to keep people satisfied and happy while we struggle in the darkness because we're playing small and trying to please and help everybody else. But yeah, I had to learn to say no and to stand on my business. Let your yeses be your yeses and your no be your no. And if it's not a hell yes, that means it's still a no. And to not operate with a spirit of confusion. If it's not if anything is not giving you a spirit of peace, love, and comfort, it's a no for me. If it bothers my peace of mind is too expensive. I've took years to build this peace of mind. So if anything come around it trying to jeopardize, mess it up, give me confusion and have me wishy-washy and all over the place and crying, and I'm like, no, 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 no. My peace of mind is too expensive. And I'm exiting stage left and I'm kicking that person or people to the curb.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much, Jacinth, for be here tonight on Real Talk on Flashpoint Radio. I just want you to go ahead and tell anybody who wants to connect with Jacinth where they can find you to connect with you.
Absolutely. I'm Googleable. So if you Google me, Jacinth Headlam, my name is at the bottom, but it's JACINTH Headlam. If you bring me up, everything will come up. My website, my social media. On social media is I'm Jacinth, or if you put in Love After my book, that will also lead you to all my platform as well. So it just hit me up. And if you have you want help with anything, a word of encouragement, or want to write a book, you can, email me at info@innastar.org. So that's INFO at innastar.org. That's INNASTAR.org. And if it's that, you want advice or just need help, like you said, with writing your book or doing a film or just need help with your confidence or your self-worth, I'm here to help you and coach you into greatness.
Awesome. Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you. Thank you
here
for having me.
tonight. Oh, I want to say to all our listeners and our viewers, thank you so much to continue to listen to Real Talk. And remember, it's a safe space so you can share with your friend, your family, anyone that you cares about, in healing and becoming a better version of their self. Connect them with Real Talk here and Flashpoint Radio. And I want to also big up all our supporters from the get-go till now. Thank you so much. And I'm going to ask Mikey G, the host of Breakfast Hour, to take us out.
Well, I thank you, Yasheika, for that. I'm telling you, I'm enjoying the program this evening. I'm telling you, it is an amazing program. And for those who are listening live right here in the Flashpoint studio, we want to tell you that every Monday at this time, 7:30 to 8:30, we have had so many wonderful programs right here in this studio, and this evening is no doubt one of the greatest and the best. The conversation as I am listening this evening, it's really what you'd call cutting edge and necessary at this time. There are lots of persons who have suffered abuse, suffered trauma, and of course have listened to this conversation and are getting some answers to some of the questions that they have asked. And so tonight, I want to say congratulations and thank you so much for joining us right here in Flashpoint this evening. It has been a pleasure to be a part of such an awesome program. Yasheika, over to you.
Oh, so remember, on a Monday at 7:30, get your water, your wine, your coffee, your tea, whatever for your comfort, because we're gonna always keeping it burn up here in the Flashpoint studio until Monday. See you. We're out.
Come on, just open your mouth and tell God something real nice tonight. Come on, tell him you appreciate him. Tell him you love him. Come on, all across the sanctuary. Tell him how much he means to you.
Am I good to go?
Do a simple song. It goes like this. My hallelujah belongs to you. 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 You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. My hallelujah.
Join Yasheika Cummings, host/producer, in association with Flashpoint Media for Real Talk. This and every Monday at 7:30 p.m. on Flashpoint Radio. This program reaches people from far and wide with real-life traumatic situation, creating global impact through empowerment with speakers all over the nation. It's a safe space that gives you a voice. Real Talk with host Yasheika Cummings. This and every Monday at 7:30 p.m. on Flashpoint Radio. Don't you miss it. To miss it is to diss it, yay.
Of course, that was your girl
Join
Yasheika.
Yasheika Cummings.
Of course, this